Hello everyone! This time on Matchday Sessions we are talking to the team from the Leo Messi 10 fan club at We Are Messi on Twitter. Harish, Marwan and Anoud have built a community of more than 1 million Messi fans, and they are all huge admirers of the GOAT himself, just like any football fan should be. Find out what they had to say on his incredible career and the secrets of their success. Check it out! Welcome to our latest Matchday Sessions AMA. I'm Sean. I work at Matchday alongside Joanne, who is also here.
Hi guys, it says Matchday, but I'm Joan, social media manager here, and really huge Messi fan also. So super excited to talk with the best Messi community there is on Twitter.
Yes, and that leads us nicely into today's guests, who are very, very delighted to have here. It's the guys from We Are Messi, the Leo Messi 10 fan club. I believe we have Harish and Marwan here today. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us, Sean. It's incredible. We're getting this chance to speak to our community out here. And obviously, right, whatever Messi has achieved over the last few years, talking about it, I think that'll be a massive opportunity for us.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure to be here to talk with the fans and communicate together on our most interesting thing on our account, Leo Messi, supporting Leo Messi. It would be very amazing to be with you guys today.
Awesome, great to hear. So let's crack straight on. If you'd maybe just like to both introduce yourselves, maybe starting with yourself, Harish, and just explain a little bit more about how the project started and how you both got involved.
Hey everyone, hi, this is Harish from India. I lead branding and marketing at Story, where I get to work with a couple of European football clubs. I do get this incredible chance to work with Arsenal, Juventus and PSG. Yeah, that's my full-time job. But I started this We Are Messi project back in 2014 to fill the void left by Leo Messi on Twitter. Since everyone knows that, he doesn't really have a Twitter account. So I thought why not build something for Leo, since there was no one back then who was actively posting content related to Messi 24/7 or even covering the game from his perspective. So I thought this very much aligns with my passion, and more importantly, I'll be making better sense of the time that I have. I'll be using it in a better way. So yeah, this is what we this is the start, the whole We Are Messi community. And little did we know, we'll be building something so massive today. In 2016, I ended up meeting Anoud through Snapchat, and yeah, we instantly connected because she's a massive Barcelona fan, and I knew that I wanted someone who could shadow me, and yeah, it worked out well. She was there to support every day, and I think she's caught up a bit right now, or else she would have joined us. And then we onboarded Marwan in a couple of months after that, where he helped us grow our Instagram account. So yeah, we are a team of 3. Marwan, would you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be with you guys today. My name is Marwan. I'm from Egypt, but currently living in Germany, now working as a doctor. And I would like to say that it was the passion for Messi on football, which I found, which led me to join We Are Messi team. I was during studying medicine. It was the football only the way to have such fun or the passion I need. So I contacted Harris the first time, and it was a good chance to be together in the account and leading the Instagram account. It was mostly nobody there in Instagram, and we started from the bottom, but we are here now. And it was something very interesting for me to support Messi in a way, every game on every details about Leo Messi, and many responsibility sharing every time the real news about Messi or covering everything about his life. So it was really something I would love to do it.
Yeah, and you guys have built a massive community. You've passed 1 million Twitter followers earlier this year. Massive congratulations on that. That's an amazing achievement. Did you ever think when you started that you could reach this milestone? And what would you say are sort of like the secrets to your success, aside from the fact that obviously you've got a lot of fans who can follow Leo Messi?
Before you guys answer, just super briefly to just a bit of housekeeping. I see people already requesting to speak. Usually the way we go on these stages, on these spaces, is you guys can share your messages. You guys can shoot your tweets in the space, and we will make sure to give priority to your questions. But to keep it under control, because we are expecting a massive turnout or a big turnout. Please, if you want to share something more than requesting to speak, just share it on as a tweet. And now back to you guys.
Thank you, Sean. I think reaching 1 million followers probably was one of the biggest achievements of our lives. Never did we believe that we'll be reaching this figure when we started. And I think we had a very difficult start. Probably it took us a good 4 years to reach 100K followers. And now we are 1 million strong. You can actually imagine, 8 years of time reaching 100K in 4 years. But after that, we had a massive push. And I think a lot of it probably had to do with the international football that happened, Messi winning a lot of things, especially with the national team. So yeah, I mean, that really propelled our growth over the last few years. But what really worked in our favor, other than the Messi factor, his name is probably the thing that probably worked in our favor. But apart from that, it's a consistency factor for me personally, making sure that we were giving updates as it happened, posting a lot of visual content, being true to what we were since day one. We never went down the road of trolling others to show that okay, Leo is better than anyone else out there. We've always stayed true to our game. And I think yeah, being consistent with whatever we've been doing, that was one of the biggest reasons, which really helped us reach this figure. A lot of times, if you're just a fan, you end up probably watching the game and then sleeping, because out here in India probably the game ends at 2 a.m 3 a.m, and then you end up sleeping. But for us, staying up after that, posting a lot of content, posting stats, posting photos, interviews, questions, those kind of things, uh doing it day in day out, every weekend, that's really what really has helped us. And I think we are very happy that we've reached at this level. Apart from that, I feel the dedication factor and teamwork, which Marwan and Anoud actually helped me with. So these three factors probably are one of the crucial things that helped us reach this figure. Marwan,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would like also to add to what just Harsh said, that it comes very small things. We have also done it, for example, during the stop of for in the summer, or I mean, after the season is ended or anything, we want to keep the account always active. So we need, for example, to post throwback moments or any kind of rumors which attract the audience to follow always Messi news. So I think it needs to be always active, covering Messi news, even in the end of the season, or in any kind of stoppage time after the season or anything like this. Always comes small details. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing dedication, like that you were explaining there, and I think you completely, fully deserve, and you're getting your rewards now. So yeah, congratulations from us again. It's an incredible achievement. Now we're going to touch a bit more on Messi himself, and this seems like a pretty obvious answer to this question, but for both of you, what is it about Leo Messi that sets him apart? Aside from being, an incredible footballer, what is it that makes him so special and so unique and really drew you to him as a fan?
I'll go first. Probably, I think he's the best athlete out there, the greatest footballer to ever play. But personally, I don't really remember my early days of watching Leo Messi. But I remember, ever since I watched it, started watching Barcelona, I remember, what he used to bring to the game and how he really influences the game in his own way. It was much more than goals and assists. The beauty that you used to see, when the ball was at his feet, you could see him, okay, there's magic that's going to happen. And I think, that's something that really uh, got us attracted towards him and led us to building this massive fan page that we have today. We want to pay a tribute to him in some way or the other. Tell the world about him. Obviously that was one of the goals on Twitter when we started, since Leo did not have a Twitter account. So keep people more updated about the interesting things that are happening in his life, because there's much more than the numbers that are there that people are usually following. So that's one of the reasons that really helped us. And yeah, I mean, that's probably, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say also what makes Leo Messi special, that there are a lot of players who is talented also, but the passion is also an important factor in success. Which, for example, for me, I was supporting Barcelona from the first day since the Ronaldinho era, and I found that no one will come close to his talent. But when a friend of mine in the primary school, I was very young, but he spoke about there's a guy like exactly like the documentaries made on Messi, a talented guy who gonna be amazing, who played just a few minutes, but his talent is different. So I think that the passion for Messi every season, all the years, makes the difference for any another player that who is talented also. So that's what makes Messi special. You can see his passion in every goal he scores. So that's also what I think.
And we should point out now that Joanne, one of our hosts here at Matchday, is a huge Barcelona fan and Leo Messi fan as well. Would you echo the kind of things they were saying, Joanne, in terms of what it is that makes Messi just so special?
Yeah, there's not much else to say, right? I mean, what I still love though is that yesterday, for example, he broke like his own record at 36 or almost 36 of fastest goal ever scored. I saw the coverage you guys were doing from the game. It was very awesome. But yeah, just like he's the GOAT and he keeps just improving himself. And also, I want to mention now is that obviously he has also shown that he has a great eye for investments right now. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Thanks. I prepared for that one. But no, yeah, he's the greatest. Like what I've seen him do on the football field, it's something I have never seen before. And the fact that he did it for the club for that my grandpa was already supporting, it's something great. So I really feel the what's drives someone to really build like this massive community. I wanted to ask you guys, like, have you ever seen him play live on a stadium?
Yes, I did get a chance to go to the World Cup last year, so yeah, I did. So the
That
thing is,
must
like,
have
I
been
was lucky
incredible.
enough
I
to get
didn't get this chance. It's my dream to watch him live, but I didn't get that chance yet.
I was lucky enough to get some tickets for the World Cup through one of the sponsors of Leo Messi and the World Cup. Yeah, and I watched him play against Mexico, which was one of the, I think, a very important game because that was right after the defeat against Saudi, and it was a must win game, and I got a chance to watch him score. So I feel like that's probably the highlight of my career, or probably like the whole 8 years that I've spent building this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That must have been incredible. I was going to ask you as well about following on from that. What was your experience and the emotions you were going through in the World Cup final? Because this felt like, it almost felt like the final boss level for Leo Messi. It's like, right, this is it. The World Cup is on the line. And what a game. It was so crazy. It was so roller coaster. I can only imagine how you felt watching that as a Leo Messi fanatic.
God, I have to talk about the emotions. Like, from a fan perspective, like it felt like, it was a dream come true personally. Like, we've been following obviously Leo and the Argentina team for such a long time, both on and off the pitch, and watching him lift the World Cup felt like, that day football was completed. Like, there was nothing else left to be achieved and history was made. Like, it felt like, it was a proper tribute to Leo Messi for what he's done what he's done for the beautiful game out there, and how he's got everyone on the same page. But from another perspective, like, while you're watching the game from a fan perspective, we were running this massive community too, right? I mean, it was a stressful day for us, like, seeing Mbappe come back, scored a couple of goals, and then, like, we were not sure where it's going to go at the end of the day. But then, yeah, I mean, it's like, constantly tweet at the same time, then constantly celebrate. It was a mix of emotions, to be honest. Like, yeah, for me, that it was everything that day that I've experienced.
How many times did you had to delete a tweet, write it again, then delete it, then write it again?
I mean, I think I might still be having all my drafts right now with me, but yeah, I mean that was how it was. Like, but yeah, I mean, I think probably would have used all of my drafts, to be honest. Like, because I was predicting that we would go on to win, and yeah, the story was written for Leo to lift the World Cup.
Yeah, I think Messi's story with Argentina is dramatic. It's like a film, a movie. It gives us a lot of things we need to learn from failure and success, because we had like the doubt that Messi will fail again with Argentina winning the World Cup. But for example, in the semi-final, I just thought that he will not miss the game against France, or the final again. He will do his best to win the game, but it was really dramatic. And I think in the last 20 years, it was only a strong game. We have seen like France and Brazil in 2006, and I think that game also was very strong and very dramatic, and was not was a lot of feelings, mixed feelings during this game. We thought he will lose or he will win, and Mbappe scored the second goal. It was really like a shock for me. I thought his dream is gone and there is no more comeback. So it was really crazy.
It was insane. I remember watching it as pretty much as a neutral, but wanting Messi to win, because I think that like nearly everyone in football wanted Messi to win, and just like the way it drew you in, I think it's the best, definitely the best World Cup final I've ever seen, maybe the best game I've ever seen. So yeah,
Yeah.
my heart goes
But
out
what
to
do you
you
mean
two.
by neutral fan? What do you support, Ronaldo or what?
No, I just mean as an England fan who's used to getting knocked out a lot earlier than the final. I just I'm numb to it by now.
Yeah.
But no, I was definitely rooting for Messi. More so. But yeah, don't put me on trial here, man. But so he's done pretty much everything now in football. Messi, he's achieved so much. He's broken so many records. He's won so many Ballon d'Ors. He's won, he's done nearly everything. For a lot of people, I think that he's kind of changed the game in what is sort of possible for one individual to achieve in football. Do you think that anyone could ever come close to his level again, or do you think he truly is like a unique and a one-off?
Personally, I feel like the next generation of footballers are already making waves. But what Leo probably brings to the field, that's absolute magic, and I don't think that'll ever be matched. I mean, everyone is going to talk about the numbers at the end of the day, but when you watch a football game, you'll see what Leo brings to the game. Like it's absolute art, I would say, and that's something that no one probably like in the current generation. I don't see anyone like even reaching that level right now, and the way he carries the team, like and even the team is happy to work for him and like with him collectively, so he's an absolute leader, which probably like yeah, and I don't see anyone else having that sort of a command when they take the field. So I feel like yeah, there will be people who would get close to his numbers, maybe even break in some cases, but the influence that he can have on a game, no one can match that.
Yeah, I agree with Harsh. I think the numbers can come easily by any another player, but you can see how the performance of Leo and how easy he makes the game looks like, the way he passes the ball and the way he scores the goal. It seems like for us all it's very easy and simple, but I think it's gonna be totally different after he retire and we see how the another players play. Or so I doubt any player can come near to Leo performance and how easy he made the game looks like.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because like there are some players I think who you can say, oh, they're amazing, they have an incredible presence on the pitch, but maybe they don't have the numbers to match it, or vice versa. But Messi's got both, and I think that's again what makes him so unique, is that he has that presence, but he also has the statistics to back it up. So yeah, very well put. Now, one thing I was going to ask you as well is Messi's sort of one of those players that kind of transcends football. I think a lot of people who aren't football fans are still Messi fans. It's just that name and that impact that he makes. Were you? I think you touched on it earlier, but just to go into it a bit more, were you like football fans of like a specific club before Messi, or was it him who drew you into the sport, and to I guess Barcelona would have been the first club you were following him with?
Well,
I used to follow a lot of Marvin. Why don't you go first, and then yeah.
yeah, it's okay. Well, it comes from me first watching the first football games with my father, because we have passion for an Egyptian club in Egypt called Zamalek. So we have this passion for football always in our country. But the first contact maybe with the international football while I was young was the game in World Cup 2002, Germany and Brazil. That was an amazing game, and I started from this time following which football club I can support, which attracted my attention, and it was Ronaldinho performance with Barcelona, which makes me loving this club. And I think Messi made my love for Barcelona more, the way the story looks like with Barcelona and his love for the club and how everything starts. and the numbers and the trophies he has won with the club, it was really special. And yeah, that's how it started with me with football.
Hi. So for me, I used to watch a lot of Premier League games back then, and then Premier League used to dominate in India, no matter what you say. Everyone used to be the United fan, Chelsea, Arsenal. Like it used to be like across the field. And with Messi, probably when he started playing, probably around 2007, 8. That's when I started following a lot of Barcelona games because of a friend I met in college, and we eventually started talking a lot about the games out there in La Liga and how things were defining. And yeah, so for me, that's probably the early memory that I have of actively watching Barcelona and Messi and getting drawn to the club out there. So yeah, for me, that was a journey for me, like from Premier League to transitioning to the La Liga and Barcelona. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I think it's interesting, Marwan, that you mentioned Ronaldinho because Joanne will be able to speak better about this than I can. But I think it was very much sort of like Messi kind of took over from Ronaldinho. It was like passing of the torch. Is that how you remember it, Joanne, when you were a youngster? Well, you still are young, but watching Messi come through.
Yeah, I think the first memory I have from a game was Ronaldinho scoring from half pitch against Sevilla in a really tough season, but like he was the player that brought the smiles back to FC Barcelona, right? With also because his style was like. He didn't sustain it for a long time, but his peak was incredible. And then Messi just brought it to
His magic was amazing. His performance was, no one else was like Ronaldinho at that time. Yeah.
Exactly. I think he was the most aesthetic player I've ever seen play. Like his movements were so plastic, so incredible. And then Messi just brought it to another level. Like with Messi was total football domination. And that was incredible. I want to point to a couple of questions. We have Oihik and Rislap. Sorry so much for my pronunciation of names. I struggle sometimes, but they wonder about the future of Messi and how this can impact his legacy. And I will start with my personal opinion, and then I'll leave it to you. But to me, like what you said before, he completed football, right? And there's nothing that he can do on the pitch that it's ever gonna diminish what from now on that can ever diminish whatever he did. So whatever the next stage is, I think that he's the GOAT, and there's nothing much to say. But yeah, I'll pass it to you guys so you can give your takes as well.
Well, I think that he as the numbers or the way he played the game, he doesn't need anything to prove. But we just wanted, as a Barcelona fan, to end his career in a different way with Barcelona specifically. We just was wanted this to end in a different way. But as a Leo Messi fans, we wanted. The best, which makes him comfortable in the end of his career. So he just, if you saw many interviews from Messi, he just always said that he's gonna will not leave Barcelona unless they decide that. So it was really a little bit sad. So, but his decision to play in MLS, or I think this just he want to end it in his career in a quiet place, or just no more stress or anything like that. So I think it's was the right decision according to all the factors we just heard in the past few days. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw something not that long ago where it said about like when you play a video game and you complete it, and then you just have the side quests left to do. And they said that's basically what Messi's doing now. He's achieved so much. He's done everything. I think like you said, nothing can really take away from his legacy now. He's there. I think winning the World Cup was the last step. He did that. He did that in an incredible way. He wasn't just a squad member. He helped them. He scored. He was one of the top scorers and one of the best players. And I'm very pleased to say that we now have the third member of the Leo Messi 10 fan club, Anoud. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm very sorry. But it's great to have you here, and we would just love to hear how you got involved with the project as well, and a bit more about what it is that makes Messi such an incredible player for you.
Hello, guys. Sorry for the noise, if there is any noise. But so for me, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, sorry, no, it was just a bit about how you got involved with the fan club and the project, and then just maybe what it is about Leo Messi that really stands out for you and makes him such an incredible player and athlete.
Okay, so I joined like 7, 8 years ago, like quite a long time ago, and I believe that what makes Messi like Messi and the GOAT is his personality on and off the pitch. Like everyone like used to say he's not a leader on the pitch, and like he doesn't have the personality to be a leader. But also like after watching the World Cup, like it's the first time that we see play like teammates who play for their other teammates. Like all his teammates wanted him to win the World Cup, and they gave all what they have on the pitch for Messi to have a World Cup. And I'm so proud that we surpassed like 1 million followers. Like it's a huge milestone for us and for we are Messi fans.
No, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's an achievement. Big congratulations to you
Thank
again.
you.
I just want to mention again the phrase "the goat" because I don't think that we this phrase was really that common until I think it was Messi that really kind of like popularized this phrase because
Yes.
it seemed to be like the debate between Messi and Ronaldo. I mean, that itself, that adds to his legacy, right? The fact that if you say GOAT now, I think if you say it with no context, people almost immediately think you're talking about Leo Messi.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a football fan thing,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a weird, it's a really weird concept. I don't know if the rest of you other guys would agree with that, but I feel like he's almost made that whole concept his own.
Yeah, I think it was a great idea. Even Adidas had they used this idea with advertisement, and it was really interesting. You come to your mind, the GOAT. It always comes to your mind was Messi, and the way they promoted that in the World Cup in 2018, it was also special. So yeah, you're right. I think that was specific. Related to Messi when it comes to your mind, and I think it will stuck in your head forever. When you say the GOAT, you will remember Messi legacy and how he changes the game and makes it simple and easy.
I think we should just add that to the dictionary, like for synonyms out there. Messi equal to a goat, yeah.
I was going to say, I bet a lot of Messi fans have worn out the goat emoji on their phone because that seems to be everywhere it goes with him.
Yeah.
Joanne, I think that you had something you wanted to ask.
Yeah, first we need to start a campaign, and guys, you have 1 million followers, so you can sure. We need to start a campaign that in every dictionary, wherever it says "goat," there's a picture of Leo next to it. I think we can make it.
I think we can definitely make it happen.
Every
I'm
farm
sure
that has a goat on it has to name one of them Leo, at least one.
Exactly. If there are anyone that owns goats here, please do. Then I wanted to ask, now that I mentioned the 1 million, I'm sure that there is people here that is interested in growing communities online, right? Like personal brand or personal projects are so important. If you could share, I'm not asking you guys to share the recipe of success, but if you could give a tip to someone starting that is passionate about Leo or about any other player and would like build a community as successful as the ones you guys had. You mentioned consistency before, but maybe you can elaborate a bit more.
I can say like one part. It needs consistency and passion. Like passion is so important. As long as you have the passion, because like gaining followers and having engagement or recognition, it takes so much time. Like it needs also patience. Because like nowadays, like people might think, oh, like why I'm not gaining the followers, why I'm not having this engagement. But I think it's more about the patience and passion more than consistency.
Yeah, I would just also
Like,
add. Sorry, Harsh, you can speak.
no, Marwan, say please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to say that away from our work and consistency and passion, we shouldn't forget that Messi's performance makes the difference because his talent, and we are lucky enough to support the greatest of all time, and we made this about Messi. So we are lucky that he helped us with his performance and numbers. So if we are talking about any other player or anyone should start such an account for a fan account, it also depending on which player we are talking about, on his performance, on consistency also throughout the year.
I think yeah, like Anoud and Marwan have said, like I feel like passion obviously like it has to be there. If you're passionate about something, things become much easier for you. And from a personal branding perspective, I feel like you should be more than willing to try different forms of content. Try what's working for you. Like check. See, there were days when like we were posting images without any caption, just to like ensure that we were continuously posting something or the other. But then later we started like incorporating the name Leo Messi in all our posts, just to like get more SEO friendly on Twitter too, because that's how like the topics work, right? At the end of the day, so we were like very conscious about like what we were posting and how we were posting and the type of content at what time. How what's the difference between two types of post? The time difference between two sets of posts. I mean, experimenting with the trend probably has to be another reason, like that can actually help you make a good brand or whatever you're building successful, and being real time. I think that's probably another factor that can actually set you apart from the others. If you're going to post something which is like probably 12 hours old, I mean, you might just end up like not really getting the same amount of traction that probably like what you could have got when you posted something instantly. So that could be one of the reasons, like which probably is not really helping you in building a successful brand. But if you try to incorporate all these things like passion, consistency, obviously the number one thing that goes behind like building anything, and yeah, knowing what you're getting into it, like a good understanding of the surface, like what you're building or what you're trying to like build, and even the platform understanding plays a role.
So basically, if you have to summarize, would be first one, having fun, which sounds
Yeah,
great, actually, like having passion about it, consistency, real time, and then like try different formats and try to adapt
formats. Yeah,
to your
yeah.
platform. That sounds great. We're taking
I would
notes
add
here on our
one
side.
thing that you guys have done that's really stood out for me. Just the way you were like so open and so cooperative with us. You've been like so nice, all of you, the whole time. I think that you don't recognize how far that goes because honestly, it's a very unforgiving word, social media. And if you're you're just nice and cooperate with people out there, that goes a long way. And I just want to say, and we're not finishing yet, but I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you for doing this because we're so grateful to have you on. You've been so helpful the whole time. You were giving us tips as well along the way for how we could promote this and everything. I just hope everyone knows in here how nice these three people are and how much they deserve the success that they're getting.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Sean.
so
It
much.
does mean a lot.
Appreciated.
Thank you to you. Anyway, Joanne, you were saying.
We really appreciate it. It's awesome to have the chance to talk with you. We want to switch now because like at Matchday we are creating games, right? And we have Messi. We are lucky enough to have Messi as an investor through his Playtime fund, and it's very exciting for us to connect with him, to be connected with him like this. But what perception of a product like well, not like ours because there's not one like ours, but what perception of the product does it give to you when you see that Leo is involved?
See, I definitely feel like, having a player and an athlete like Leo Messi brings in more credibility to anything that you're building. And it does make someone curious about, like, what the company is doing. The influence that he has, like, just take this example, right? When he announced that he's going to join Inter Miami, the way their social media, the club's social media, like, skyrocketed, that's influence. And when people actually find out about like match day is being backed by Leo Messi, people are just like the football fans, the 5 billion fans that you match days going after, they will definitely be interested in seeing like, okay, what the product is about, how they can actually use the cards, what is it about, like how can they be a part of the whole building process. And that's what probably like Messi can do, influence the product in a way where, yeah, I mean, he can just shape the whole product. Yeah.
it's been an exciting journey, and we are like super grateful of all the attention that we have. We have released some small community release of our games for people to try out, but we don't have like our final products yet, and the amount of love and attention and interest that we're getting from the community, it's fantastic, and we are extremely grateful. One example here that I want to shout out is Charleston, that he's mentioning that he's listening to us, Liverpool fan and Messi fan from Liberia. So, Sean, a lot of connection points there for you.
Yes, other than Liberia, we're basically the same.
Yeah, but well,
yes.
know,
even as a Liverpool fan, I am a huge admirer of Messi. I think it's very difficult. If you like football, it's very difficult not to like Messi because he just does it in the best way. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm a human and I breathe. I like football, so I like Messi." It's just they go hand in hand for me. But we also have at Matchday one of the main points of our process so far is we have player cards. We have these player cards of a huge database of officially licensed footballers. You can collect all your favorite stars, not just Messi, although everyone will want him, I'm sure. But we've got all kinds of players in there, and we have different rarities. So you have your common cards, which the clues in the name, they're the most common ones that you'll see most often. But then as it goes up in rarity, you have limited cards that are a bit rarer, rare cards, which are even rarer, and legendary cards, which are the top ones, really really rare. And now, normally, what we do at this moment is we ask the guests to rank their top three favorite players in this rarity, so like 3-1. But I think I can guess who you'll all pick as your favorite player. So instead, I would ask you to pick your top three all-time Lionel Messi moments from third to first, which I think is a lot harder than it sounds. But I don't know if you want to go first, Harish, with trying that one.
Yeah. The thing is, there have been many moments, that has defined. There have been, way too many Messi moments that have defined my career. The way I feel connected to the game. But if I had to, really pick three, I would probably, at number three, it would be the goal that he scored against Manchester United in the Champions League final. Every Barcelona fan probably remembers that. And that's one of my early memories. And one of the reasons why, I was attracted to the club, the game, and obviously Leo himself. I think that's one of my early memories, and I would probably place that at number three. Uh, the second one, I'm kind of divided between two things. One was watching him play live for the first time against Mexico at the World Cup, and second one could probably be him lifting the Copa America trophy, which I felt that was a long time. He struggled a lot. He tried hard, but watching him finally lift a trophy with the national team, I felt that was one of the moments which really has to be in the top three Messi moments for me. And number one, obviously, has to be the World Cup finals. You can't really it just has to be out there. And that was probably the best day of my football journey so far. And absolute legend. Feel blessed to have seen him play live out there. Yeah.
Those are some very strong picks. What about you? I'd particularly like to say that's the thing I think I like most as a Liverpool fan about Lionel Messi is all the times he stopped Man United from winning the Champions League. Nice job, Leo. What about you, Marwan? What would your top three be?
Well, it's very hard to choose only three moments for Leo Messi.
Yes.
But that's what makes Messi special. Also, every moment and every goal he scored is very amazing and special. But I can only choose the moments or the top class or the top performance that shocked the world, or the goals. Like his goal against Real Madrid in 2011 from the midfield running. That was an amazing goal and a top one of the beautiful moments. I think also his 4 goals against Arsenal in 2010 was also one of the amazing games he just made. And we should, like Harsh just said, the moment he won the World Cup, it will remain in every Messi fan forever that he won the World Cup at the end of the day. Yeah.
Very strong again. It's like you just realize how many different ones he has. It's so difficult. But what about you, Anoud? What would you go for your ultimate 3 Messi moments?
My favorite 3 Messi moments. Well, okay, of course I can't choose, but I'll try. So the first one is the World Cup, like when he won the World Cup. Second would be the Clasico, the third goal that he scored, where he had the tissue in his mouth in 2017. And the third one would be his goal in the Champions League against Bayern 2014-2015, where he went like past the defense. And yeah, it was an amazing goal. So these are my top three, but of course, like there are so many. But I think these are my favorites.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like those, it just really emphasizes how many moments there are. Because I thought, that the first two guys had pretty much covered them, and then you get that goal against Bayern. That was pretty iconic. Joanne, would you add any more, or do you think that they pretty much nailed it between them?
They nailed it, but I'm also gonna add some more because it's the best career that
we could be here for a long time.
So to me, number 3 would be the goal against Getafe, where he just decided to become like, if Maradona can do it, I can do it better. That was pretty cool to watch. Then the second moment for me would be like the one that Anoud mentioned with where he breaks our like huge fan of him, but well, I mean, it happened on the field that Messi broke the hip of Jerome Boateng, and then just And number 1 was that goal on injury time. We didn't win the league that year, but that definitely gave us chances where he just scores, removes the jersey, and shows it to the Bernabeu, showing that forever number 10 for FC Barcelona. It's something special that only him can represent the way he did. So yeah, those are my 3 moments.
I think I would only add one more, and you mentioned it earlier, Joanne. But surely his top moment, I think, would be when he got involved with Matchday. I think he really knew what he was doing there.
There you go.
No, but that is it really. I think you've done very well, all of you, to just pick 3 because there are so many out there. I think that covers everything we were going to talk about today. I just want to say again a huge thank you to all 3 of you and to everyone who joined us today. It was great to see so many people in here, and great to see your dedicated following in action being in here. We're so grateful to have you guys helping out, and just a massive congratulations for everything you've achieved. And I'm sure long may it continue. I'm sure there'll be more great things to come.
Thank you, Sean. Like, we really appreciate, the chance that you've given us. Even John, whatever the platform that you've given us today to tell our story, we really appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We're happy to be with you guys and to have the chance to talk with the audience and everybody. Thank you so much.
And thank you for the recognition. Like, it's very, very important. Thank you.
No, you guys are awesome. You deserve every bit of it. And just to close, maybe we can mention that we have some new stuff going on Matchday. We have just released our new one new game called Challenge that you can already go and try to win some cards and some rewards. And remembering everyone that we have the locker room open, which is a program where you can build a game with us. So if any of you guys listening are interested, you can really very easily find it on our social media channels. Thanks so much, guys, for joining. And until the next one.
Yeah, massive thank you, guys. And we'll get this uploaded to Spotify and the usual places in case you want to listen again. But huge thank you to all of you, to the guys from the Messi fan club, and to you, Joanne. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.